What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Sunday special where we do technical analysis and some fundamental analysis, but we talk mostly about trade ideas and setups for the week ahead. Now, before we get into this video, please do me a favor, like the video down below. If you guys do want me to continue doing these, I do these every Sunday, and you can set the post notifications on my YouTube channel set to on so that you can not miss these in the future. But I go over some ideas and some technical setups for the week ahead. Now, on top of that, if you are not already part of our VIP community, we actually have two. We have a stock market and we have a Forex market VIP community in Discord. Now, we've been doing very well. This is the MyFX book that I've been tracking the performance so far, and you can see things have been doing pretty well overall. If you would like to trade with myself and the rest of our team, everyone who is inside of there has the access to chat and work with other traders. We do live webinars and all sorts of other things. If you want more information on that, or you're interested in trading alongside myself and the rest of our crew, you can check out the link down below in the description on that. Also, there should be a promo code down there if you would like to use that. It gets you in for like $5 off or something like that. Anyways, let's get into it, guys. And again, let's start with EURUSD, as we usually do. And what you guys can see here is we're looking at the 30-minute chart just because I was actually doing some back testing earlier, or I guess yesterday, about some shorter time frame thoughts or some technical setups. But if you have watched me for a while, you know I'm mostly a swing trader, so I'm looking at the 1 hour, the 4 hour, and the daily mostly. But occasionally I'll drop down and take a look at it. Which reminds me, I think this week I'm going to do some live streams, and we're probably going to do some lower time frame analysis. So stay tuned for that. And again, those post notifications, if you set them on, you'll get notifications whenever I go live. Okay, so EURUSD 30-minute chart. We can actually also just jump up to the 1 hour to look much the same. You can see that towards the end of the week, we really rallied here on the euro dollar, which is interesting because we've kind of flipped the script. I was an incredibly bullish character, if you will, on the euro dollar when we were headed on the upside, back here. I was very bullish on the euro USD. But things have really switched up from what I see going on in this market. We can actually see, if we draw this trend line in, check out how price basically has dropped through that level. This very strong rally point has basically been broken. You can see right around here, we officially broke through that upward trend to the downside. And since then, we've really just been forming lower highs and more bearish structure. So my view on the euro dollar is switching bearish. Now, there are some things to think about, however. If we go to the daily chart real quick, I want to show you guys this. On the daily chart, we are still technically above the 200-day moving average. But I think it is very possible and probably even likely that we do make a move down to this 200 period moving average sometime here in the next few weeks. And the reason I say that is because we haven't been at the 200 period for a long time. It's been many months. And usually what markets do is when they have an extension one way for a while, eventually once they truly decide to kind of reverse, a true reversal usually means a move back to those longer term areas of value. Now, don't get me wrong, we still could be in an overall uptrend here on the euro dollar, but I think this counter trend may have a little bit more strength than some people are expecting. If you look at retail data right now, I'm not going to pull it up, but if you look at the retail data, there should be ways you can look at that on my website, a1trading.com. There's like some free tools that you can check out. But the retail data, as far as I saw, most recent, most traders here are long, thinking that the trend is going up, and it could continue, I guess. But usually retail is wrong, and they've been long for the last few days. So we'll see how that goes. But I think it is very possible that euro dollar does make a continuation to the downside there to the 200-day moving average. So now that we have that idea, or at least that's my bias there, what are we looking for going forward? Well, I think that there are some decent sort of sell scenarios that I like here on this pair. So, we're kind of entering into this resistance zone. You can see that this was kind of a barrier for bears for a while. We had buyers stepping in here, right? But then right here, we broke through to the downside, and since then have been kind of forming a lower push. Well, now we see the price really did strongly reverse there on Friday. And so as we come into next week, I think it's very possible that we could see price kind of come into this area and find some resistance. I think that is very, very possible, and something that I will be looking for on my own trades. So I'll be watching out for that. Again, like I said at the beginning of the video, if you want to see the actual trades that I take and my full analysis breakdowns with them, I share them inside of the group that we offer. So with that said, let's see if we can look at something else. We'll just clear this and we'll let's go to pound dollar while we're on the subject, and we can talk about this one. Pound dollar nearing the top of this range yet again. You can see this topping point has been an area that prices struggled to get past, and as we come up to it again, it's a question of, can we bust through that? If we do, I think that there's some great long scenarios here on pound dollar. If we were to break through this and look for the continuation, I think that there's probably some really good setups that we could go off of. This is the 4-hour chart. You can see we've been trending pretty nicely to the upside here. And I mentioned in last week's video how, returns to this area could be a good setup. Now, unfortunately, I didn't catch this. I didn't see pound dollar coming down to this level. But if you go back in last week's video, we had talked all about how, any sort of return to the bottom of this channel was probably a decent buy zone. So for me, the next sort of scenario that I like would be any sort of breakout and looking for any signs of a pullback to try and get long and just continue this trend. Until this trend changes, it's not doing what EU does, right? Well, sometimes these two move very similar, GU and EU, but right now they're kind of diverging from one another. Euro dollar is on the bearish trend, and pound dollar is kind of just holding its own sideways / upward trend. So that's what I'm looking for probably this week on pound dollar. Let's see if we can take a look at gold for a moment. Everybody wants to talk about gold. Let's talk about gold, because gold on the daily chart, really, really interesting to me. We officially have broken underneath this 200-day moving average, which I can honestly tell you guys, I have been bullish on gold for a very long time. And this kind of like, from an emotional, bias to the trade, it's kind of hard to imagine being bearish on gold. But the reality is that if the charts tell you one thing, you can't just want to do the other, right? I've been bullish on gold for the most part as an investment / as a trade, and I've always, kind of stuck to anytime we hold this 200 period moving average, this is just, straight up bullish to me. And so we've actually, for the first time in a while, we've kind of reversed that 200 period moving average. You can see that resistance. I really anticipated that gold would rally off of this and keep going back to the highs. We did not see that, and so I was definitely wrong about that. But now what we see is that this point was the high for at least for now, right? We've long-term kind of high right now. Actually, that's the all-time high right there, right around that 2075 level. And now we've come down all the way. We've chatted our way downwards, downward trend, formed resistances, and now we are kind of at this this sideways range where the trend has kind of just died out. Now, I'm not to say that it couldn't start going bullish. Let me say this. So, oh, that's not a good color. Let's try that again, Nick. If I go to background and make green, is that gonna? Okay, good. So, with that said, we've kind of entered into this weird range-bound market where, we've got the extreme lows that are holding and we've got the extreme highs that are holding. And so for the time being, there's really no, I wouldn't take a bullish trade here personally, because we have broken underneath that 200. So the longer term bears are starting to settle in. They're starting to get stronger here. And in fact, it hurts me to say this, but I think that the most interesting scenario to me would be a breakout lower and just looking to fade and jump into that downward trend as it forms. That is probably, actually, I'm pretty sure that right now retail sentiment is long. Retail, if you go look at the numbers on that, I'm pretty sure, you'll have to check me on it, but I'm fairly certain that gold right now is very, very heavily long biased by retail traders. And like I say on the channel, it's not to bully retail traders or anything like that. It's just that the reality is most retail traders are wrong. And every once in a while I'll get these comments on my channel that are like, Nick, you're wrong if you think gold can go lower. Like, it's definitely going higher. And you get these sort of comments, and you guys probably have seen them too. I just know them firsthand because they come on my channel. But you see these comments where people are like certain about a market and they're certain about, you know, the direction of where it's going to go, and they'll say like, oh, mark my words, gold 2000 by the end of February. You know, things like that come on my channel, and I have to tell you, just from a content consumer standpoint, when you're watching channels and you're watching trading channels specifically, don't listen to that stuff, because nobody knows for certain anything in markets unless they have some sort of insider trading knowledge. But that's going to be really hard to get in the Forex market because it is a big, giant, unregulated market. So it's worldwide. Anyways, my thoughts on gold are that, you know, most retail traders think it's going up. I'm very happy to look for shorts on a breakout. And again, it pains me to hurt because it pains me to hear that, you know, we've busted through some key levels of support. Things look bearish, and retail is getting long. To me, that just signs all the things that I would look for in a short trade. And again, the reason I say that I'm bummed about it is because I like the idea of personally investing in gold, and I own some gold in my various portfolios. So you know, I'd love to see this thing go bullish, and maybe I'm wrong about this. And the best scenario, I guess, for the investment side would be we hold this bottom of the range and we start breaking back through. You know, if that happens, then of course I will eat my own words and start looking for longs again. But I think from a trade standpoint, I think there's probably some shorts to look for on gold for the first time here in many, many months. So I'll be looking for that going forward. And again, any trades I take, I'll share with you guys inside of the VIP. I know a lot of you guys watch these videos. So anyways, that's what we've got there on gold. Let's do one more. I've been kind of doing a little bit more in depth today than doing numbers. What do we want to look at? We looked at the euro, we looked at the pound. Can we take a look at the Aussie pairs? Because they were kind of interesting to me last time I checked. Let's start fresh here. Let's take a look at Aussie dollar. So Australian dollar. Oh, and by the way, guys, for those of you who are making it to the end of the video here, or you're well into this video, first of all, thank you very much for watching this long. I do appreciate that. Also, I'm going to be doing some live streams, and I'm very, very excited about them. I used to do them a long time ago. I guess not a long time ago, but I used to do them on a regular basis, and I had a lot of fun with them, but they were just, honestly, they were very, very exhausting to me. They were a lot of work. It's a lot of work to chat with people in the chat room, as well as you know, do analysis, you know, do my trading, all of that at the same time. So we're rethinking that, and I'm going to try and make it a little bit better. But if you want to see more analysis on the regular, then definitely like this video, because I'm looking at the likes to determine what I make on my content, just because, you know, if it helps you guys more, I enjoy doing it all. So whatever you guys enjoy the most, get the most benefit from, that's what I plan on doing. So, but also, if you do turn on those post notifications, you'll be able to join me live. We can chat, you can ask questions, that sort of thing. I'll be trying to answer as many as possible. So just a little heads up for those of you guys who are real enough to still be in the video at this point. Thank you very much for the support and watching the channel. So, Aussie dollar, I actually took, you know what, I'm going to show you guys Aussie Swiss trade that I'm currently in. I took a long position on Aussie Swiss inside of the group, and I shared it. Currently, we're floating, I think, just a bit more than 1.5 R, something like that. But I ended up getting long right around here. Where did I get long? I got long around here. I can't remember exactly, but the idea was pretty simple. The idea was, you know, we entered on the pullback of this 4-hour kind of uptrend, just how we talked about earlier in this video about pound dollar. We've just been in this chugging uptrend for Aussie Swiss as well as pound dollar, and as we came back to this level, I got long in this general area, and I've trailed my stop to this point at break even. My initial stop for this trade was underneath this low, and price since then has rallied. So this is kind of a cool sort of scenario to be in, because it's the only trade that I currently have on my swing trading account, and that is kind of cool because it's just been one of those easy basic trades. Price pulls back to a key level, I buy into it, and I hold it and move stops to break even and let it run as much as possible. The reason I'm telling you this is because I think that a lot of people have been actually trying to fade these sort of moves here on things like Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar. And the trend here has been real good to people who have been supporters of it. I think Aussie dollar is actually looking a little different than Aussie Swiss, to be honest. We're kind of in this downward channel. And I think that the most bullish thing we could see going into the next week for Aussie dollar would be, can we get through this top point? Because if we move past this, I can tell you right now, what most people will do is just, you know, from looking at so many, I keep an eye on retail sentiment pretty regularly. And I can tell you that most of the time when something like this happens, when price starts rallying like this, most people are thinking, oh, that looks like a juicy short, right? Kind of contrary to what I would have thought when I first started trading. I would have thought, oh, everybody's buying this. They're getting greedy and buying into this. They just want to chase it. And you definitely have that too. But from the numbers, from what I see, most of the time when the charts go down like this very sharply, people are going long because they think it's going to be the bottom. And then when the market's rallying like this, they go short thinking it's going to be the top. And so as we rally here, you know, something like this is a beautiful setup to me, because I don't care if it goes up or down. I care about the most probable based scenario where I could potentially make money. And so if we see a rally and we break through key levels of resistance, you know that there's a very strong likelihood that people are overwhelmingly short. And so I'm just looking to go long and just ride against that stop hunt, or that stop, you know, run, whatever you want to call it. People call it devious things, market manipulation, whatever. I just call it, you know, smart money versus the dumb money. It just sounds weird, but you know, it is what it is. It's how markets make their money. Is the big players, they take advantage of the retail guys who are just trying to have a little fun in the markets, right? So that's just how it's been, and that's how it will be for as far as I can see. Anyways, guys, that's what I've got for this video and this week ahead. If you did enjoy, like I said, like the video down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here and you want more of these. We'll be doing live streams and that sort of stuff. I'm very excited for it. And have a great rest of your weekend. We'll see you back soon.